What's up, Sneaky Nation? Sneaky P here, back with all the news after Week 14 of our Tennessee Titans franchise, where the road struggles continue for the Titans, moving to 1-5 on the road in the season. It was definitely a winnable game against the New York Jets. Once again, our Jekyll and Hyde defense just did not show up this week, and it led to a loss. You know, Fitzpatrick had over 400 yards passing. That is unacceptable. And we kind of knew it. We knew this season would be rough. In fact, if you were to tell me we'd have a 7-6 record, I'd call you crazy. Our offense has really kind of put together better games than we were expecting, whereas our defense has really let us down on a lot of different occasions. Again, that's going to be addressed in the offseason. Something we're definitely going to be focusing on in the draft. Let's go ahead and check out draft stories here, see if we have any news coming on. Defensive players rarely walk away with the Heisman, but this year, Pittsburgh right outside linebacker Derek Gayton did just that. Cousin of Shakir Gayton, maybe? I don't know. This is definitely somebody worth checking out. Crosby Boyce is an important role in Nebraska's offensive line, only allowing 6 sacks this season. So we definitely need to scout these guys. Derek Gayton, Heisman Trophy winner at right outside linebacker spot, especially coming from a guy in the ACC. You know, that's a guy I want to check out. We might have already, we'll get to that in a second. We might have already scouted him some. I don't know. But all of a sudden, he is becoming a player I want on my defense, if nothing else. Even if his skills don't necessarily translate to a top pick or something like that, well, which it does, as you can see here. He has projected a first-round pick. He obviously has great leadership skills, and that is something I definitely like to see. Now, there were some other guys that did impress me a little bit more. In fact, Ivory McKay's attributes seem to be a little bit better right here. I feel like there was somebody down there that maybe that was middle linebacker spot. Either way, it's somebody else to consider. Now, who was the offensive lineman? Let's see if we can go find this guy. Don't see him here. Don't see him here either. Center, there we go. It's this guy. Okay. Well, interesting enough, he only allowed 6 sacks, but his pass block's actually the worst of his attributes here. Interesting to see that. Again, pretty much we're just going to try to scout the first trait for every player here and give ourselves some options. You know, that's kind of my strategy at this point. And if something stands out, we'll look at it a little bit more. You know, I like to see a B tackle coming from a 6th round draft pick here. He's got some crazy size too at 6'7". B hit power, B minus block shedding. Definitely seems like that could be a potential steal, especially in a 3-4 defense, considering, you know, I kind of like to run the 3-4 defense for the future. That could be a nice move there. And just, I'm still impressed by this guy as well, obviously. Frantanzi Smith, definitely somebody to keep an eye on. Let's just go down and see if there's any potential steals or something worth looking at here. I kind of want to, oh, here we go. B plus power moves on a 5th round prospect, B plus pursuit, and B block shedding. Here we go. This is a steal. Add to the watch list. This is a guy we need to pick up. Cedric Young out of Army. You know he's got that discipline too coming from a school like that. Another B plus power moves here. Not quite as good, but for a 6th round guy, that's a pretty good take too. So I'll go ahead and mark him as well. Some decent defensive tackles in the late rounds here. Let's see. We'll get going with this. I only have 5 more guys we can look at here. Let's see if anything. B plus power moves. Left outside linebacker, a 6th round prospect. I cannot scout him this week, but I'll put some more time into him next week. And that's interesting to see zone coverage there. B minus for left outside linebacker. You know, that's not bad at all. That's something to keep an eye on. I definitely want to improve this defense. You know, we never know what defense is going to show up. We should have beat the Jets there, but allowing over 400 yards passing is just not acceptable, especially when we gave up a lot of big plays. And you know what? It doesn't get any easier. We're 1-5 in road games, and we're about to play our toughest road game yet against the Patriots. That is not going to be an easy task. We've lost 5 straight. Our only road win this season came on week number 1 against the Buccaneers. Let's go ahead and work on a few of our players here. Kind of get their attributes up. Again, fumbling hasn't been an issue. I might try to adjust that. Well, it has been at the quarterback spot. Sankey hasn't had any issues fumbling, but we've also gotten his carrying up to 92 overall. Catching has been okay. I don't remember a whole lot of drops there. Let's just get his awareness up. Take him up to an 80 overall there. Let's see who else we can take care of. Stafford. Stafford, you know, it's so funny. I was actually planning on having him come off the bench. I'm a big UNC fan, and I was excited about Denoris Cersei, but Stafford really won the position, and he's been playing okay there. Our safeties aren't exactly giving us what we want with the huge passing plays. Huff I like a whole lot. I do like Huff quite a bit. And I see potential with both of these guys. It's just going to kind of take time to get them exactly where we need them to be. Awareness, all defensive players need this awareness stat up, and that's going to take him to an 80 overall, which I'm pretty happy with. And here is Huff, this guy. I'm loving me some Huff right now. Do I go with zone coverage or do I go with awareness? Go with awareness. Maybe, you know, if we get more awareness on these safeties, we're not going to be giving up those huge plays like we've been doing. And that is something that would help our team out quite a bit. Let's go ahead. We'll auto-progress the rest of the players. And see, hopefully, you know, I trust our assistant coaches to do all that jazz. So, negotiate contract with Kendall Wright and Craig Stevens. Let's go ahead and enter the negotiations here. What's Kendall Wright? Yeah, you know what? That's not a bad contract at all. I'm pretty comfortable giving Kendall Wright that deal. And hopefully he'll accept that offer right there. That's not a bad deal at all for Kendall Wright. I'm pretty happy with that. Let's see if he accepts it. And that would be a pretty nice pickup for us to bring him back for sure. And he did accept it. Very cool. I'm happy with that. Acknowledge. Now we have Craig Stevens. Let's see what we can do with him. He's actually been a very good backup tight end for us. You know, I was actually considering... And look at this. He wants more money. He wants more money than... That's very interesting. He wants, like, more money per year than Kendall Wright. I don't think he's earned that. He's in a backup role. Now, I was just about to say, Craig Stevens has actually been a very solid backup tight end for us. I was very happy with what he's given us in a reserve role this year. You know, I remember a few big athletic touchdowns that he had, including one huge fourth quarter one in that comeback win. However, I don't know that I want to shell out more money to him than I just gave to Kendall Wright, which Kendall Wright, you know, we did get quite a bit of a bargain on. But for a backup tight end, I feel like this is quite a lot of money. And I feel pretty comfortable, especially with his age being 31 years old. I feel comfortable moving on from him. Again, he's only a backup. I was planning on re-signing him, but I don't want to give him that much money. I'd rather use it on a starting position somewhere or over the you know, course of a few prospects that we could pick up. I could always draft a backup tight end. They don't have a huge role in my offense. That's a little disappointing, though. I really wanted him back, and I feel like we can be okay moving on without that deal. It's not that it's a horrible deal. It's just that I'd rather use my money elsewhere. You've got a player in the final year who's turned down. I haven't offered anybody a contract offer. I don't know what you're... I don't want to... Oh, I have to answer now that I clicked it. Which sucks because I don't know which player they're talking about. I wish they would tell me so I could kind of answer based on knowing that. Whatever. I don't know who they were talking about there. All right, man. In negotiations, best of luck to you, Craig Stevens. I like you quite a bit, man. Maybe we can look at this again in the offseason. You know, if we get to the free agency period and he doesn't have any guys going after him, really, I would be okay with bringing him back. He's a guy I like quite a bit. Again, it's just, I don't know. And then look at this. Like, if we did let him go, Justin Hunter is an 81 overall at the tight end position. And I definitely have been wanting to get him more time. So that's another option that we have, which isn't that bad. You know, I'd be okay with that. So let's go ahead and check out the stats here. See who won Player of the Week. All that jazz. We'll briefly look at the weekly awards as well. And then we might just look at our players' stats so far this season. Cam Newton, 24-35, 338 yards, 5 touchdown passes for him. He did fumble the ball. Washington, 14 tackles and an interception. Riley, this was against us. He had a monster game. 8 tackles, 4 sacks, and 2 forced fumbles. And I'm pretty sure he injured Mariota. I could be wrong on that. Phillip Rivers, 24 of 30, 332 yards, 5 passing touchdowns for him. He did throw an interception as well. That ain't so bad, though, when you throw him 5 touchdown passes. I don't think anybody's going to hate on you. Yearly awards, Russell Wilson still number 1 for MVP, Drew Brees number 2, Tony Romo 3, Tom Brady 4, Phillip Rivers 5, Ben Roethlisberger 6, Flacco 7, Bortles 8, Rodgers 9, Mariota still in the top 10, but he's fallen down to number 10 on the list. Now, a lot of this is the fact that we're not really winning games. He's also been getting nicked up in a lot of different games. He returns from the injury. He's always okay, but the injuries are keeping him out of a lot of time, and that's not good. Cowboys going at 11-2 right now. So their new running backs must be getting the job done for him there. Let's check out the injury report really quick. We did have an injury last week. Just make sure everything's going okay. And is that... No, that'd be under my team, wouldn't it? I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing. Stop yelling at your screen. I don't know what I'm doing at all. Here we go. Injury report. Let's see what we got going on here. And Denoris Cersei is going to be out for 2 weeks with broken ribs. That's not the worst thing in the world. If this team can turn it around and make the playoffs, he will be available to us. Again, he kind of lost his starting spot, so he's only played sparingly. He's played very well for us in those moments, but I think we can be okay without him. Let's check out the Patriots depth chart really quick. You know, one of the best teams in the NFL right now, the defending Super Bowl champs. We're definitely going to have our work cut out for us, especially being on the road. Tom Brady, 94 overall in his 16th year. At running back, LeGarrette Blount and Bolden going to be here. And I got to go back. Here we go. Travaris Cadet, Appalachian State, making it happen. Belichick, a.k.a. Chad Masters, know what's going on here. Devlin, going to be a fullback, wide receiver. Julian Edelman, Brandon LaFell, Aaron Dobson, and Danny Amendola. At tight end, Gronk and Fred Davis. Scott Chandler as well on that list. A lot of very good tight ends there. Pretty solid left tackle and Solder. Shaq Mason, the inexperienced rookie, is getting the start with Brian Stork being out with an injury here. And this is not a great offensive line. They have good tackles, but the guards and center position leave a lot to be desired, and it's going to be interesting to see how they hold up protecting Tom Brady. You know, our defense is very good at getting to the passer. At least some games. Some games are kind of non-existent pass rush. Other games, they look like the best pass rush team in the NFL. But if our defense decides to show up, you know, Brady could be in for a tough game, not having a whole lot of time to make the wise decisions he's capable of doing. Throughout the defense, they got a lot of playmakers. Not a whole lot at the cornerback position, but they make up for it with very good safeties here. Gostkowski, one of the best kickers in the NFL. Somebody to keep an eye on. Kick return, Edelman and Amendola, two speedsters. Both know what they're doing. They know how to make plays, follow blocks, and it's definitely not going to be an easy task. I said we were going to look at our stats this week. I might wait until the next video, as this one ran a little bit long. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please smash that like button, and I will see you guys in Week 15 as we take on the New England Patriots. Later.